Assalamu alaikum, welcome and karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar's kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this beautiful, delicious, very colorful shawarma ball. So I'm going to start by preparing the chicken, and I have used 2 boneless chicken thighs. I had already started with one because I wasn't making a video. Then I said, you know what, let me just make this. So I'm going to slice this very thinly, and I'm going to keep the fat because that's going to add some flavors to the shawarma. All right, and the reason why I'm slicing it thinly is because I'm going to thread this into a skewer. Now, if you are going to bake this or if you're going to cook it on a skillet, you do not need to make it very thin because it's going to be very dry. I do have a shawarma video that I shared years ago. I will put the link in the description box below so you can see if you don't need to put it on the skewers. And then we are going to add some fresh ginger and garlic paste. It's about a teaspoon that I have minced it with some salt. If you have shawarma seasoning, you can use that, but today I'm not, for the sake of those who do not have the shawarma seasoning, so they know what kind of spices that goes in there. There is one more spice that needs to go there that I have forgotten, is the clove, okay? So I'm going to add that later, and then, of course, squeeze in some lemon or lime and a tablespoon of yogurt. This is a very small portion of shawarma today, very little, just because I had some extra chicken thighs, and you know, shawarma, my kids love shawarma. We can make that the whole year through, they don't mind. And so then I added some olive oil and the ground clove and some salt as well. Then we're going to marinate this for about 3 hours. In the meantime, I'm going to start working with the condiments. So these are red onions that have been sliced thinly and some sumac. And we love red onions with sumac. They go very well with kebabs. We always have them in the house. I'm just going to massage that very well. And then some cilantro or coriander. There's always an issue with this word, with this herb rather. And then I'm going to keep this as well. Squeeze in some lemon or lime. My next condiment is the white sauce, and I've used mayonnaise and some Greek yogurt and some garlic sauce, which I do have a recipe. I'll link in the description box below, as well as tahini. And we're just going to mix that well. Sometimes I just use garlic and tahini. Sometimes I just use yogurt and mayonnaise. It depends on, you know, what we're having it for and what the mood is. All right. And some salt and lemon or lime, whatever you have or whatever you prefer. Actually, sometimes I like to use the limes, but they are very dry. So I end up using the lemons all the time. All right, so we're just going to add more, and then you want to taste and see how you like it. All right, and of course, after this, I did the tomatoes and also the lettuce. I'm sure you know how to slice the tomatoes and the lettuce. That's why I'm not showing it here. And then now we are going to start with the chicken. I've got the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 200 Celsius. I would use more skewers if I have like 4 or 6 thighs that I'm doing, a larger portion, but today I'm only going to use 2. Okay. So I start with the onion and of course the chicken, and then you want to put the onions in between in no particular order, just to, make sure that the chicken stays nice and moist, because it does tend to be dry, especially when it's thinly sliced like this. And most of the times, actually, I like to grill it on a barbecue, but it's raining today, so oven does wonderful job as well. Most of the time I do it in the oven also. In my last video that I have done, I did that in the oven. So yeah, once this is done, I'm going to put this in the oven for 20 minutes on each side, and then we're going to flip it and grill it for another 20 minutes. Okay. And that's it. It's very simple. So I'm just going to put the other skewer on the opposite side like that, so that it can hold and it doesn't fall. Okay. And you can do however you like. I mean, this is by my convenience. Okay. I'm just going to seal it with the onion, and that's it. So you can hold it from both sides, and going to put it in a deeper dish so that the juices have room to drop. That's about it. And now I'm going to start cooking the rice. In my pot over here, I've got 2 tablespoons of butter, and I added half a teaspoon of cumin powder and half a teaspoon of oregano and a quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder. You can use ghee or oil. And then I'm going to add the rice, which is basmati rice, 1 cup that I have washed, rinsed, and soaked for about 30 minutes. All right. And then we're just going to saute this until it's nice and shiny. And then I'm going to add more color because it was not yellow enough. And for this, I like to use broth, either chicken broth or vegetable broth, whatever I have in hand. And so I'm using chicken broth today. And if you're buying one from the store, please check the salt because sometimes they're too salty. But they do have a low sodium one. So that's 1.5 cups of my chicken broth for 1 cup of basmati rice. So I'm going to bring this to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, we're just going to cook it for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then after that, I just reduce the heat, cover it, and let it simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. In the meantime, on this side, I'm working with my pita bread. I have shared a video on recipe on pita bread. I'll put the link in the description box below. It's the same recipe, but this time I only used water and milk instead of water alone. All right, so those are beautiful pitas, nice and fluffy. I just wanted to make them small and cute. So now this side, my rice is ready. It's been like 25 minutes and we're good. So the rice is hot and my pitas are hot, and now the shawarma is ready too. Since it was little, there wasn't really much to slice. So it just came off of skewers just like that, which was very nice and cool and easy. Okay, so we're just getting it out. And that's it. And I serve this with some lentil soup for our iftar, okay? Okay, so simple and filling, okay, wholesome meal. All right, so this is ready. Just gonna keep it in a bowl with a foil so that, those juices can drop into the foil, And that's it. So here is our pita bread. And we've got fattoush, which I have also shared a recipe, but in Instagram. I will try and upload it over here. So I'm going to serve now, and we've got some rice there. And you can serve it in any order, but I like to keep the salad next so that we can have the salad with the rice or the salad with the chicken. This is my son's plate, by the way. And then we've got the shawarma there. Okay. And I've got some pita bread for him, which he likes to make his pita pockets. So I have already cut it into 2. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. You will find all the ingredients and the measurements in the description box below. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.